everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate from Centered Wellness by Kate. I am a certified holistic health coach, meditation teacher, and breathwork coach. And in this video, I wanted to share 3 of my favorite benefits of mindfulness. But before we get into that, just wherever you're at, if it's safe for you to do so, just take a pause and close your eyes, and we're just going to take some deep breaths to get centered and grounded and become mindful of this present moment. So go ahead and close your eyes and take a deep inhale through the nose. And exhaling again through the nose or the mouth, whatever feels right for you. Taking another inhale through the nose, holding at the top for a moment, and exhaling. One more deep breath in through the nose, and while you inhale, just notice the sounds around you, the sounds of the space that you're in. Allow it to ground you in this present moment. And just make you aware of what's here right now. And exhale, letting it out. Okay, so now hopefully we are all a little more mindful. So first of all, what is mindfulness? Mindfulness could also be described as present awareness, living in the present, being consciously aware. The opposite of mindfulness is mindlessness, or being on autopilot, or being stuck in our heads. Our heads often take us out of the present moment into an imaginary future. Our heads like to play out different what-if scenarios, or they like to ruminate on the past of things that have already happened. The future and the past are no longer in existence. They don't exist. The only thing that exists, the only thing that is real, is what is right here, right now. And bringing mindfulness into our lives, cultivating mindfulness, allows us to be in the present moment. It allows us to not constantly be living in our heads in the future and the past or on autopilot. So how does that enrich our lives? What are the benefits of being able to remain in the present moment? 3 of my favorites are: 1, it helps us appreciate and connect with life on a deeper level. Number 2, it allows us to respond to life instead of react. And number 3, being mindful allows us to become more aware of our thoughts. It allows us to become an objective observer of our thoughts. So now I'm going to get into a little bit deeper what these 3 benefits entail. So the first one helps us appreciate and connect with life. So simply put, whenever we're living on autopilot, going from one thing to the next without giving any conscious awareness to what's in front of us, what's going on around us, or when our minds are preoccupying us with future thinking or past thinking, we cannot connect with what's right here. We cannot appreciate what's right here. And when we can't appreciate what's right here, we end up missing out on life in general. So this becomes especially obvious when we're with people, when we're with the people we love, so our friends, our families, our partners. When we're taken out of the present moment, we are unable to connect with the people around us. When we're present, we can be a good listener, we can be a good supporter, and then also we can connect with everything else around us. I've found that mindfulness has helped me become so much more aware of the nature around me. Now, when I'm outside going on my evening neighborhood walks, I notice the flowers, I notice the bees buzzing around collecting pollen, I notice the hummingbirds flying and darting all in different directions, I notice the clouds and how beautiful they are. I notice the bird songs and I allow myself to just listen to them and enjoy them. And it brings me so much peace to feel connected to my environment. So that's number one. Mindfulness allows us to connect with life on a deeper level. And that can even be applied to when life is really hard. A lot of us have a tendency to disassociate when we're faced with a really difficult situation. Mindfulness allows us to be present with it, which will allow us to make better decisions regarding that difficult situation, and or just simply be able to process instead of running from it, instead of sweeping the emotions that it causes you under the rug, instead of disassociating from it, which can often lead to us carrying the weight and the energy of that difficult situation with us into the future. Mindfulness can help us process life as it happens, so then we don't have to carry the burdens with us into the future. Number two is mindfulness allows us to respond to life, people, situations, triggers, instead of react. So one of my favorite mindfulness quotes is that there's always space between a stimulus and a response. And in that space, when we can have mindfulness, there's choice in that space for how we're going to respond to that situation or to that person. Whereas when we're mindless, a stimulus will trigger an immediate reaction. And that reaction is likely going to be, charged with whatever we're subconsciously carrying, pain, guilt, any sort of limiting belief, unresolved trauma. We often react out of our pain, and so it causes poor behavior, essentially. Whereas when we're mindful, even when we feel triggered, we can bring mindfulness to that moment. We can then dwell in that space where we have a choice in how we're going to respond. It gives us some control over our behavior. Another thing that kind of goes along with this is that when we're mindful and a situation arises in which we need to respond, it's a lot easier to listen to our intuition or our gut feeling or to God, the Holy Spirit, in those moments than if we're just reacting. When we're reacting to a stimulus or to a trigger, there's no room to listen to the wisdom that we have inside of us to kind of direct us to where to go or how to respond to that situation. We're given more insight in that space when we can pause and respond instead of react. So number three is that mindfulness allows us to become objectively aware of our thinking, of our thoughts. And the reason why this is important is because one of the things I always tell to people that I'm meditating with or teaching meditation to is our thoughts are real, but they're often not true. Our mind is constantly creating future outcomes that don't even exist yet, especially when it comes to anxiety or depression or any sort of mental health struggle. Our minds often want to shame us for those things. They tell us we're bad, we're unworthy of X, Y, and Z because we're struggling with whatever it is. We need to become aware of the thoughts that are running through our minds. When we can observe our thoughts objectively, then we don't immediately identify with them. If we're living on autopilot, we are automatically identifying and taking our thoughts as truth because there's no separation between our consciousness and our thoughts. When our thoughts, again, are often creating lies. They make us live from these lies that keep us from living from our true, authentic self and the truth of who we are. Even just a lot of stress that we take on every day is birthed in the mind. It is created. It is a perceived stress that's not necessarily there when we can look at things objectively. So that concludes my video today on 3 of my favorite benefits of mindfulness. And I hope it inspired you to become a little bit more mindful throughout your day. A great way to practice mindfulness is with meditation. Breath work is another great way. Or simply pausing throughout your day to reconnect with your breath. And what I mean when I say connect with your breath is just direct your conscious awareness to your breath. Know that you're breathing. Follow your inhales and your exhales with your awareness. It's a great way to center and ground yourself in the present moment. Another fun little mindfulness exercise is when you're in the shower. Just see if you can remain present in the shower. See if you can know that you're washing your arm, washing your chest, washing your back, shampooing your hair. Notice all the sensations of the water on your back, the sensations of your loofah over your skin, things like that, instead of taking your shower and being totally on autopilot and thinking about all the things that you have to do the rest of the day. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're not already, subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned for more videos about everything meditation, mindfulness, breath work, holistic healing, and I'll see you next time. Bye!